What's going on? My name is Fernando Corona. I am an out-of-state real estate investor, and my wife and I and my baby in the background are on our way to financial independence. In this video exactly, I'm going to share what is financial independence, why we're on our way to it, what it means to you, and how you can hop on the train. Check it out. So the first question I get asked is, all right, Fernando, well, what is financial independence? And the name sort of implies it, but it means where you no longer have to actually work to live your life. Okay, another way to say that is you're receiving income that is handling your expenses and your lifestyle without actually having to physically do work. I know it's an interesting concept, so sometimes it's like, well, how do you do that? How do you create income without doing work? And it's something that a lot of us, if you're like me, we grew up and you were taught that you are directly just putting in labor, you're putting in your time. In return for your time and your hard work, you get paid a wage and a salary. And that is the very beginning school of thinking. And by the way, in order to do this, you have to do a ton of that. But then there comes a time where you can actually take the money that you've made and put it in other areas where the money actually starts to produce for you. And that's called, putting the money into assets. And when you put them into assets, whether that's businesses, real estate, other types of investment vehicles, you start figuring out, well, what are the assets I can put my money into? But before we get there, we just have to talk about financial independence. So financial independence is when the money that you've put somewhere, or the work that you've put somewhere, starts to pay you in perpetuity. So now you have money that's paying you. Let's say in our example, we are teaching people how to invest out of state, and we're doing it ourselves. So let's say you have $60,000 and you can take the $60,000, go buy property out of state. When you buy that property, there's rental income. The rental income from that property pays for the property mortgage, pays for the property expenses, and then the additional that's on top comes back to us. So then it comes out to, well, how much can you create from one property, right? It's $100, $300, $500, $1,000. How much can you actually create? And how much work do you have to do to create that income? Financial independence. Let's say you have 10 properties and all 10 of those properties produce $500 of cash flow. So now you've got $5,000 a month. So that is passive income that is coming to you net in your pocket. And let's say that you can live off $5,000. Well, then you just achieve financial independence.
Nice.
So then we talk about, well, what's wealth? What does it mean to build wealth, to be wealthy, to be rich, monetarily, right? Not necessarily philosophically or religiously or in any other way. We're just talking about financially. How do you be financially wealthy? And to be truly financially wealthy, you just have to make sure that your expenses do not exceed your income. So the difference from your expenses to your income is actually what's going to make you wealthy. What I mean by that is, if you're making $1 million, but you're spending $1 million, you're not really wealthy. If you're making 10 million, you're spending 10 million, you're not really wealthy. You're not really rich. You are living a lifestyle that you can't really keep up with if you were to stop working today. So what we are instead trying to do is bring up our income, make that income passive so that we're achieving financial independence, keep our expenses low. And the goal is that the difference from our income to our expenses gets larger. So it's not only that our income gets larger, it's the difference between our income and our expenses that needs to get larger. And then when that gets larger and that income can come to us without actively working for it, meaning passive income, we're getting money from our assets, then we have achieved financial independence. So why am I even achieving this? Why are we aiming for this? Why do I wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning before the baby's up, before I have to go and change diapers and feed her and feed us and everything? Why are we working so hard for this right now? Well, the idea is that if you work hard for the first 3 to 5 years to start to develop, right, these assets and this passive income and learn about financial independence, after 5 years, we'll have the option to work, right? We don't have to work, we'll have the option to, and we want to work on things that we want to do. So that is what's driving us. My wife has been paying off her loan in 3 years for education. We're gonna be traveling, we wanna travel with our daughter. Maybe we have another kid. We wanna be living in Cancun for a month. We want to just have the option of living the life and lifestyle that we want to live, right? And if we wanna do work, we wanna keep working, we wanna go to speaking events or whatever it is, that's on us and that's our choice. Whatever you wanna do with your life and with your lifestyle, that's actually where it starts. What do you wanna do? What kind of life do you want to live if you weren't dependent on your job? And then once you start to figure out the life that you want to live, well, then you start figuring out, well, how do you start living it? And that's where financial independence comes in. There's a lot of ways to try to achieve financial independence, but the most millionaires that have ever been made was through real estate. And it's because real estate has been around for so many years, and right now, the best way to get into real estate, if you live in California like me, is out of state. When you're talking about out-of-state properties, you're buying well below the median home value. So like 250, 200. There's even homes out there for 100,000, even under 100,000. Don't get too excited, right? I know I've gotten excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, under 100,000, let's go buy all these. The problem is, we got to figure out what the rents are like, what you can do with the property. So there's a little bit more steps involved about how to invest out of state. It's exactly what this channel is going to start teaching you. How to invest out of state, how to use your own money, other people's money, the bank's money, credit cards, so many different options for you to start investing out of state and start to build financial independence. So if this video has resonated with you so far, do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button, and that'll help other viewers like you start being a part of this process and learning about it. And if you have started out-of-state investing and you have one or two, let me know how many you have down below. For the one who has the least and for the one who has the most in the comments, I'll be reaching out to you guys and we can start talking and collaborating about how we can get you to the next level. I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you.